All right, my friends, order a round of Cosmos and throw on your Carrie Bradshaw tutus because it's time to rewind. It's so good.
She
oh my
has
God.
so many embarrassing things that happen to her, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is missing for me in the movies, and just like
Yeah.
that. She's
Yeah.
almost like a superhero. And I'm like,
Yeah, you're
no,
right.
it's funny when like you're kind of almost like at times a female version of Larry David. Like I want to see you get into some awkward. That's when I can really
You're right.
love you. Now
Yeah.
it's like you're so untouchable.
She's not in any awkward situations anymore.
None.
And
Even,
if they
like,
are,
later-
they're over very quickly. It's like,
Yeah.
it's almost like the audience said, no, don't give us too much painful. I'm like, no, give me the pain. That's the comedy, you know?
Actually, if we want to touch on the movies, what do you guys think of this? Speaking of pain, in the first movie, when the wedding doesn't work out, do we like that? Or I don't know. Again, it's too much. Like, okay, we did this. Big already freaked out about the relationship. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah. It felt a little strange as a plot device, but it gave us Charlotte pooping her pants in Mexico.
Right.
That's
So I have to be grateful. You know.
I haven't rewatched the movies in. I've rewatched the first movie, but I've only seen the second one once at midnight in the theater, and I think I am gonna rewatch
on release day. You went at midnight.
Oh yeah, midnight with a few
Who'd
people.
you go for the second one?
Okay,
Because I think you saw the first one.
Yes, Mel, you and I and Muma saw the first one, and I'll never forget the movie when it ended. Mel's knees like gave out, and Mel was like,
so long.
It was so long, and we were in the dead center, so it took a while for everyone to get out. And so we're talking about it, and we were like, yeah, it was good. It wasn't amazing. It feels different. And then we stood up, and I just remember Mel clutched me and was like, oh, my knees. And
I
Muma
sit too long with my legs crossed. I have bad knees.
And so here we are, the last people in the theater, and Muma and I are helping Mel out of the aisle, and we're like, do you need to go to the bath? Like, well, how do we help you? I haven't rewatched that one in a while, but I just remember Jennifer Hudson's weak acting.
Oh,
and then,
yeah. I forgot
and then that
about
guy that was such a thing, Gilles Marini, Samantha's like European love interest. He was like such a thing at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's hard because I feel like that wedding moment is such a memorable moment of the movie. And so this is the fun fact about that. I used to work on the show, What Would You Do? And we did a scenario inspired by that very moment in that movie for our movie episode. And I am in the scenario. So everybody, I'll post it. We're in it's called Runaway Groom. And it was all about a guy leaving his bride and having cold feet. And I played Stanford. We literally recreated the words. I look like shit. Oh my God, I looked bad because I was just at work, and I do not look good. I needed makeup, but and also I should have gotten like actually paid for it since I am a SAG actor, but that's a different podcast. But anyway, yeah, so that was really fun. So that's my little connection to that. But you know, I just remember what was weird about that was it made the movie so heavy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That whole middle part. Mm-hmm.
She dyes her hair brown. Like,
she's
oh my
so
God,
depressed.
she's so sad it's brown. You know, like, I remember thinking like, oh God, it's so tough. Now I don't know. Have I ever been there where I'm like, I'm gonna die? I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's just you're like 40s.
Like, giving her a haircut. Yeah. Did she have to dye her hair brown?
Yeah,
but
anything,
it's a very
Polar
girl
Felicity
through something move. I feel like girls that are going through it.
Yeah.
They want a transformation. Yeah. It just felt very much like, oh, let me put on this wig. But you know, the first movie is not as polarizing as the second.
Right.
So basically, first one, Big and her are having this issue, but they get back together. He doesn't want a big lavish thing. He just wants to be chill. You know, I think in the first one, that's when Steve and Miranda are having issues.
Yeah.
Steve cheats on her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I can't remember the problems of the other two. Again, Charlotte just sort of never really has like a problem, right?
Yeah, I know.
Just
Once she like met Harry, I mean, I know
adoption and
right. No, she already
infertility.
had the infertility before him. So.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Samantha was still with Smith. I loved Smith with Samantha. I thought they were great.
I did too, actually.
He was great and like really kind of brought her down to earth. I think he's in the movies. Am I right?
I can't remember.
He's in the first movie.
First one.
But they break up at the end of it. There's like, he's briefly in the second movie because she still works for him in the second movie. So he's briefly in there. But I thought that the end of their relationship actually really, while I loved them together, I thought it really rang true. Like, this was never who she was going to be for the rest of her life. And like, I loved that. I love you, but I love me more.
Right.
Like, that's Samantha. That feels right.
Yeah. I actually did like her with Richard. I
did too.
Really?
Even though, again,
liking being because I think she's always the dominant person in whatever relationship she's in.
Yeah.
That I liked seeing her vulnerable, I guess, and really falling for a guy. And I was hoping that was like her match.
I think it was too good to be true, but I agree with you, Mel. There was something very exciting about the two of them because he also maybe was like suave and over the top. So I'm like, oh, they're such a perfect match. But it's funny now that you bring him up. I remember when she catches him cheating, and isn't she like, sad. She's like in disguise. She was like gonna like surprise him as someone else.
I really was hoping that she was gonna be wrong, like, but no, they did exactly.
Dirty martini. Dirty bastard.
It's against city law to deface public property.
This man said he loved me, and I caught him eating another woman's pussy.
Carry on, man.
He creeped me out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got a thing with him.
I know what you mean. He was not a good guy, but I think I just sort of fell in love with the idea of him. And also, I kind of liked Trey with Charlotte, but I know,
too.
Right? I think we liked all the bad people.
Clearly.
I mean, he was so good. They looked so cute together. Are you kidding?
Cute.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
Kyle
she
MacLachlan.
would not go for Harry. She wouldn't.
Charlotte would not?
No.
Yeah. Well, and that's from what I remember. She was not interested in him at first, right? It's sort of like an opposites. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I still don't think she would have gone for him.
Oh, really?
Personally.
Yeah.
But they had that great sex.
I think she would have been way too hung up on image. I don't think she ever would have gotten over that.
Well, I mean, that's why they broke up. Right? Because she was like,
well, or is that because she wasn't Jewish?
No, they broke up because she had converted at this point, and she was like, why haven't you proposed to me? You said you couldn't marry me unless I was Jewish. I became Jewish. And then she like breaks down even further, and she's like, what do you think people see when they look at us? Look at you, look at me. And he was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she meets him at the Jewish person. And, she was like, I miss my baldy.
I don't know. Maybe this wouldn't have happened nowadays, but I don't like that she converts for him. I feel like he should have accepted her the way she is. Because it did seem like, not that religion was important to her, but she was sad about giving up Christmas, for example.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I
don't know if they would still do that nowadays. They would make the women convert.
Right. That's a really interesting point you just brought up. Yeah. Would she be the one, or would he? I don't. Again, it's kind of like the whole Carrie and Big thing. Like, because I watched this so young, like we all did, I just took it as like, well, yeah, that's gonna happen. If anything, as a young watcher, that was like one of the first times really seeing on TV or film, like, oh, okay, so this is the process of like what conversion, is like, which is interesting. But we're kind of figuring out here that once she converted, her character kind of became one note. Actually, I think what could be a really interesting twist for her now on season 2 of And Just Like That is, what if she's like, actually, I don't like, I want to be married to you, but I want to go back to like me, and like have some independence, and that would actually give her something to do,
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
I feel like it's just Kristen Davis seems like a very nice person, and I think she just likes hanging out with her besties.
Yep,
so I don't think she even cares.
Honestly,
what her storyline is.
Yeah. I get that vibe too, honestly, because some of this shit, and also now within Just Like That, she's like, I feel like she's almost the new Samantha in that she is just always at like a 15. I'm like, you can tone it down a little bit. Like,
silly, I know.
So silly.
Do you think she's doing that because she didn't time her Botox right? I feel like she did it too close to cameras up, and
she talks. She sounds funny.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know what about
it's like the S's or the
because you can't move your lips. Yeah.
I think she got lip flip.
Yeah.
I say Trey can't get it up like once a week. Trey can't get it up.
Iconic. And his mom, I loved his, like, the drama with the, oh my God, yes.
I say okie dokie a lot, and I always think of Trey. Okie dokie.
Oh, I love it.
I was actually very surprised that they ended up getting married. When I was watching that season, I didn't think that they were going to go through with it.
Right.
Charlotte
I think
Trey?
that's, an interesting thing about the show is that it kind of defied expectations in that, it was a show about single women. So when I was watching it, I never thought someone was actually going to get married. And like, how was that going to be on the show then? But no, it was kind of like real life. Like your friends get married and it just, it happens. We're going to move forward. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One great thing about the show is, we go through these big life events and realize they're failures. So then how do you deal with that failure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So we were just talking about the first movie. Now let's just talk about the second movie, which is, like I said, very polarizing. Sarah actually told us she just recently rewatched it with your cousin. Am I right, Sarah?
Yes.
Now, you had seen this movie before. Did your cousin? No, this was a first time for her.
No, she is 23 years old and watching Sex and the City.
Wow. What does she think of all of it? Yeah.
She loves it. She loves the fashion because fashion's super cyclical, and right now that's the late 90s look is very in.
Yep.
She loves Carrie and Big. She is, I think, I think she would probably identify herself as like part Carrie, part Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
But she's a huge fan. She actually is in a rewatch already of the original series.
Wow.
She loved it so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big fan. So we watched the first movie together, and then a few weeks later we watched the second movie, and
I'm holding my breath.
It is tough. It's tough stuff. It does not stand the test of time. I don't even know. I don't think it stood the test of the exact moment it was in.
No,
but it certainly did not age well. Like, it starts with Stanford and Anthony Marantino getting married.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I think, one of the least believable things they've ever done on this show.
Yeah, it's one of the few missteps. I don't love that the only two gay characters got together.
Right.
Right.
And everything in that scene was like, it's a gay wedding. What do you expect? Or like Liza Minnelli performs there, and they're like,
Liza's
we got
there,
Liza, and they're like, where like this many gay people, she just knew it was happening. Like, and it just
the jokes are so cringy. Oh my god,
so cringy. And then it's not even explored as a relationship. Like, it's literally like we don't see them again for the rest of the movie. So like we don't even know. Like, the last we saw Stanford and Anthony, they were kissing on New Year's in the first movie because they both were alone at a bar. Okay, now you've transported us to their wedding, but you're not even giving us like any look into this relation that like it was just horrible. And then
jarring.
And then they go to Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah. I can envision the poster with them all like kind of turning and like with their like sarongs.
And you're using them very loosely, right? Because we can all agree that is none of their bodies and barely their faces on that.
Barely their faces. Oh my God, Sarah, I'm so glad you brought that up. Kim Cattrall, I understand why she's pissed because her face on that poster is not her face.
It's not her face. It's not her face. Oh my God, it's just horrible. I'm
just really surprised that someone like Cynthia Nixon would say those lines. I know it was obvious. Even how long ago was that made? I don't know. It was a different time.
Yeah, so a while ago, 13 years. Yeah.
What's interesting is I agree. I think like by that point in her life, she, on a personal level, must have sensed like this is touchy. What's interesting though is her character basically serves. Miranda is our encyclopedia of Middle Eastern information.
Right.
So she never actually says anything that's like she doesn't do the Carrie wordplay on like. Or King of My Labia, Lawrence of My Labia, like Samantha does. Like, she's very much like, no, this is called a burqa. It's worn for this reason. And it's like, okay, Encyclopedia Brown, like, what the fuck are you doing on this trip? Like, so I have a feeling, again, she probably said, like, I'm I would rather inform people of this culture through my character than like make jokes at their expense.
Which is tough because Miranda, we know, can be very funny. She's got some great dry humor. So to then have her be Encyclopedia Brown without any like sarcastic
humor
is
even her storyline in the movie? I don't remember.
None. She and Steve are just good. And she quits her corporate lawyer job.
Okay.
She's actually very fun in the movie in the sense of like she's the only one who's like thoroughly enjoying Abu Dhabi and is like, I'll try that food. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna do this. Like, but it also is just, I mean, they have the four of them perform I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar at a karaoke bar in Abu Dhabi. And
it's coming back to me now.
The crowd is full of women in burqas. I want you to sit with that for a minute. That was what they wanted to say.
How did your cousin feel?
Not great.
Yeah.
Not well, bitch.
Genius. What were you going to say, Mel? You were going to say something. I was going to say
when I was going, because of that movie, when I was going on a trip to Dubai and I would tell people, they all thought it was Abu Dhabi and would reference that movie. Oh my God,
yeah. The confusion between the two of them. Oh my God.
And that, if you go there, you have to wear a burqa. And I'm like, no.
I could just see you're like, I'm going to Dubai. And it's like, oh, big Sex and the City fan?
Like, I know. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Now, who did you guys see that movie with? Did you saw that one in theaters or no?
No. I watched it recently.
Oh, you had never seen it. Wow, Mel, you skipped it. Wow, you had heard the buzz and you stayed away. Okay, smart.
Yes, and you want to know why? Another reason why I stayed away? Because I heard Aiden was back, and the storyline was like,
you're like
her and Big had a conflict, and now Aiden is joining the triangle, and I was like, no.
If Aiden has 0 haters, Melissa is dead.
Wow. I'm just
I know no one else hates Aiden the way I do.
I love that. Hey, I love a strong opinion, and I love that you hate him. I mean, someone's got to hate him. I'm just right now hearing in his voice in my head, "You're breaking my heart." Doesn't he say that to her?
But I lie in bed at night and I think about us and I think about you holding me and
you broke my heart. Carrie.
I remember him taking Carrie's hand and going, "This leather's 100 years old."
Or the ring on the string.
Oh, the ring on the string. Oh my God.
Actually, can we talk about, speaking of rings, can we talk about Aiden's jewelry?
I don't find him sexy at all. Like, no.
He's hippy dippy. Would you say he's hippy dippy? It's a bad hippy dippy.
It's a bad hippy dippy.
Yeah. But so he does come in. What did you think, Sarah, of his return in Sex and the City 2? Because that's like the only real drama in the movie, from what I remember.
It was fine. It was fine. It was super brief. They randomly run into him in a spice market in Abu Dhabi. And then Carrie goes to meet up with him for dinner. And like the girls are gently like, "Really?" And she's like, "I'm doing it." And they're like, "Okay, we don't, like, that's fine. Like, you're an adult. Bye." And they kiss. And then, like, as soon as they kiss, she's like, "Oh, I don't need to do this ever again. Bye," and leaves. And it was kind of anticlimactic. He looks good. He ages very nicely.
No, he's handsome.
Good. Yeah.
He looks
in real life.
Giant head. Oh my God, the size of the dome. And I know he's talking about James Van Der Beek, but holy Christ.
Yes.
He has the biggest fucking head. It's like
Are you still talking about John Corbett?
In comparison to his.
Are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still talking about Aiden. Okay.
Aiden, yes. When she's kissing him, it's like,
I love it. Wow.
How are we even the same species? But
you are the official Dome expert on Release Date Rewind. Whenever I gotta have you on every episode to be like, Dome is about a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, big Dome.
But yeah, so now he's back again. So it'll be interesting. I kind of, to go with what, especially you were saying, Sarah, earlier, that it's a show that explores female friendships. I think it could be really interesting for the show to take a turn and like, it's okay to have like platonic male friends as well. I think there's something there that could be interesting if a guy's also getting over a breakup or a death or something, and like they don't have to be
maybe
romantic.
They're bringing you back, and it might just be friendship. That's fine.
I could be into that. That could be kind of nice.
I thought that, and just like that season 1 kind of was teeing up Carrie and Steve for that sort of friendship.
I agree, and I think that could have been.
I thought you were going to say romantic, and I was going to be in.
No.
I was going to be in.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That would be interesting to me. I would watch the show for that.
Really?
I would.
And then Miranda would be really confused. Wow. Miranda, I swear. She'd be like, "It's fine. I'm with Che. I'm queer now. You guys do your thing. I'm not looking back."
So I don't know if we want to go there on a podcast, but I didn't finish, and just like that. How does it?
A great time to bring it up. Okay.
Give me the spoilers.
Did you watch season 1, all of it, Sarah?
Yes, I did.
Because I watch it like it's like so bad, and I can't look away. Also, with any characters that I do enjoy, I kind of have to stick with them, even if I know it's not good. I gotta just see what happens to these characters, right?
Yeah.
So
because I thought Che didn't want a relationship, right?
Che is so annoying. I am not a Che fan. So like I don't know what they want. Nothing to do with the they. Hey, you be they. But like just as a person, as a character, I don't like them. I wonder if Miranda will eventually kind of figure out, also because season 2, episode 1 is fresh in my mind because I just watched it, and like Che's being kind of weird. But they go to LA. Miranda now lives in LA. Okay. I don't know if you knew
where
that.
Samantha lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Okay. Because Che got like a, because they are, a podcast host, but also a comedian, stand-up comedian, right? And they got a TV pilot. So they moved to LA, and Miranda's like, I'm going to go with you. And it's like this big thing. And fun fact about that is they do a reverse, because one of my most favorite moments ever is the big fight. Whenever Miranda and Carrie fight, it's like, it's like the earth vibrates, right? They are great actors. And so I love
like
that
their fights too.
Season 6 fight when Miranda is telling her, don't go to Paris, and it's actually heartbreaking. It's like two friends, and then Carrie famously says, then you don't go to Paris with them.
Yeah.
Right?
I cannot stay in New York and be single for you.
Yes. Oh, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just had a palpitation. But so we get that, but the roles are reversed at the end of, and just like that season 1, Miranda says to Carrie, I feel like in like a public bathroom or something, like I'm going to go to LA. And it's not as extreme. It's not as dramatic, but Carrie is like, are you sure this is right? And Miranda's offended at the questioning, right? If I remember correctly, Sarah, is that what you remember?
Yeah. She's like in this very giddy, in lust place, and it is not resonating with her friends at all. Because we've never seen Miranda like that about anybody.
Yeah.
And like she's not even divorced from Steve. Like I don't even like her kid is still in New York, and she's supposed to be in grad school.
Oh, that's right. That's how she meets her.
Forgot about that.
That was painfully awkward.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Carrie's like in that finale. Carrie goes to Paris to scatter Big's ashes off of the bridge, where
he Yep.
And she, after she's done, she texts Samantha.
Yes.
And we see 3 dots come up.
And then is that how it like
ends? Have another love interest or no?
Yes.
Jinx. A very good looking. I guess I was gonna say, do you want me to tell you? And yeah, you do, because you're not gonna continue watching. I don't think. Her podcast producer.
Oh, okay.
He's a young man.
Yes, and Che knows him, so there's a fun kind of like
double.
Oh, you're with him, So there's a little bit of like I like when. I don't know. It feels right that like another new character knows him, so that he's not so like the new guy. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that he's connected elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun. It doesn't feel, what do you think, Sarah? It doesn't feel final to me, though. This feels like a rebound.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, I haven't watched the first episode of the new season, but
Right.
I would be surprised if we just stop there. Well, I guess especially since we know Aiden's coming back.
Yeah.
It might not persist.
Right. What do you think of these new friends? Obviously, and just like that, which respectfully, I think it's great. It's long overdue, like we were saying. It's a little heavy-handed, how diverse, both not in, race, gender, all this stuff. What's hard is I really feel like the show lost a little bit of its DNA because it was trying right out of the gate to be so modern and so, even though I hate this word, woke, terrible word, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just trying so hard to be modern that it's like, I love that you're doing it, but you don't have to like hit us over the head with it in the first few seconds. What do you make of these new friends in their lives? There's Seema, there's, the professor, there's Charlotte's like rich friend. I can't remember her name, but what do you make of them?
I mean, it's that classic person of color as a guardian fairy godmother trope. They each get paired with a person of color who is going to help take them on a journey. And like, I saw this, I think I've seen it mostly like in reference to like Legend of Bagger Vance, or like it's this classic movie and TV leaned upon thing where it's like, okay, we know we need to fill out our diversity.
Right.
And this is the way we're going to do it. We're like, and so it makes them there's like nothing human about any of these people because they're so flawless and they're so like just kind of like teaching these people how to be more woke, and it just feels, you're right, heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Super heavy-handed.
What did you think, Mel, because I know they like, some of them were introduced right away, in the first episode.
Yeah, I didn't
what do you think
stick
about
around
these new
for them
characters?
to like really build
off
to see the friendships, but I know who each of the characters are, and I couldn't get into the show. It was everything was too forced for me.
Yeah.
That's another element that was way too forced.
Yeah. And maybe now that I've been rewatching the first season, it just feels like just like that feels like a dream. And I don't know why it feels like a dream. It doesn't feel like reality.
It's so
anymore.
like outlandish. It's so ridiculous.
Like I'm just thinking of, it's later in season 1 of And Just Like That, but Carrie, I believe, if I remember correctly, Sarah, she's like kind of house hunting. She's always kept her apartment, and we're back there for season 2, episode 1 at least. But like,
again,
she's like,
why does she have the apartment? I know she just has the apartment because it's an iconic part of
I know,
Carrie.
Right? Isn't that funny?
Why would she have that apartment?
She has the apartment because fans want to see the apartment. The character like doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess Big was rich, but like, is Carrie rich? I don't.
It doesn't make any sense.
In the second movie, they talk about her keeping the apartment as a place where people can go. This was Charlotte's plot in the movie. Is the second kid that she had
to get like space. Yeah.
Yes, and so she's like, so I kept the apartment so that I could escape there, so that Charlotte could escape. Right. Like, again, what is money? What's an economy?
Right. Oh God, yeah.
Also, do you remember the marketing for the second movie where they were like, we're being conscious of the recession, so Carrie's gonna rewear things. She rewore one damn outfit.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Everything else was net new. Oh. It was like that was like a big part of like the talk track was like, we're showing that like the recession has hit everyone because she rewore the Dior dress that was $6,000 fucking dollars. Like,
oh my God,
no,
that is so funny. I forgot about that.
And then she gets like a gorgeous ring from Big at the end of the movie.
She does.
Right.
She gets sparkle.
I just remembered how I was such a fan of the show that I made in my nerdy days, like living in New York on some like slow nights of not going out. I made like fan trailers of the movies. It just came back to me with Feists 1, 2, 3, 4, because get it, 4 friends. That literally just came back to my mind.
I love it.
But yeah, like I just feel like one last thing I'll say about it, just like that kind of encapsulates the whole show for me is as she's like apartment hunting, it's so obvious, guys, that she is in front of a green screen, that they could not fucking get her to an apartment or, I don't know, build it or something. It's Nancy Meyers times 100. White. This fake sun is shining through. And I thought, this is not Sex and the City for me. This is a dream. I'm ready for, at the end of the season, her to snap out of it and be like, and then we'll hear the theme song, and then it's like, oh, okay, that actually was all a dream, right? That to me, for whatever reason, that stuck with me. And again, I'm still watching it. I don't know why, but I have to. But I'm just like, okay, this show has really changed. It is now big budget, fake. The problems are of the elite, very unrelatable, not interesting for the most part. I mean, the death was interesting. I mean, I remember the second episode, the funeral. I mean, there was some interesting stuff.
We didn't need it.
But again, so heavy. Why all the heaviness, right?
I just feel like, can we ever, and this is just Hollywood in general, but can we just ever leave something alone? Like,
I know.
Right.
I feel like I'm part of the problem because I will still watch. I will still watch the next chapter. It's bad. It's something that's in me that I'm like, I want to see you get older and like, what's going to happen to you now? But I know.
don't know.
I think there could have been other ways to stay in this universe that wasn't centering these same people over and over and over again. Like, actually, I was chatting with a friend about coming on here, and she was saying she would have loved to see an origin story of Lexi Featherstone, the woman who falls out the window.
Yes.
Because like she and Carrie clearly knew each other from their young New York parties. Like I feel like there are other people we could have, if they wanted to keep making stuff in this universe. There are other people we could have followed.
I'm so glad you brought her up, because I was going to say we can, and now maybe is a good time. And fun fact, I never really watched it, but there was the CW show, The Carrie Diaries, for maybe 2 seasons, which was the prequel series that a lot of people forget about because it wasn't all that popular.
I didn't watch it.
I think I watched the first episode just to see, but by then it wasn't.
To find it tonight and watch it.
Oh, I'm sure it's on somewhere. Maybe it's on Max, actually. I don't know. Some CW shows are on Max or Netflix. I forget. But it was cute. But by that point when it came out, I just feel like we were kind of too old to enjoy it. But I'm so glad you bring up. She, I think, is my favorite guest star, Lexi Featherstone. Oh my gosh, Kristen Johnston, who falls out the window. Iconic moment, right? When she says like, no one's fun anymore, right? And it's like a horror movie. Like some of the shots, it's like showing her heel, it's showing the curtain. You're like, wait, what's gonna happen, right? And it's probably one of the weirdest moments in the whole show. But I'll never forget Carrie then like turning and burying her face in Alexander Petrovsky's shoulder in horror, right? Yeah, what an iconic moment. I love the final season. The final season to me is like pretty much perfect. Maybe because also I was watching it in real time. I was on the edge of my seat. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
I hate Alexander Petrovsky though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't hate him, but in hindsight, like, no. Like, I wish maybe she had a bit more of a real contender. Like, I really don't know who she's going to go with.
Obviously, she's not going to go with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he was there because he was there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, of course, if Big shows up, she's going with Big.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's such a no-brainer.
But there is something about
him.
Yeah,
it was fine.
He was very smart.
Attitude.
Yeah, he was kind of a diva, and I love. I mean, you guys want to talk very briefly about the series finale of Sex and the City? I think one of the best finales ever.
Yeah. I agree.
And
so few shows can like stick the landing.
Song.
The final song,
and the reveal,
the reveal. His name, we finally learn his name.
I love that,
John. Of course, it's the most plain name.
Yeah, I thought it was great for him though.
Yeah.
That was a little like, I guess, what can you do at that point? Like,
what name is going to satisfy you?
Right.
Yeah.
But like, it was kind of like, oh, it's just been John this whole time.
Yeah, it's like literally like John Doe. Like, oh, okay.
That song, that You Got the Love, was on my birthing playlist.
Did it come up during the?
It didn't.
Well, I'll cut that part out. No, I'm so happy, and it was that version, because then Florence the Machine did a great cover, but that version,
It was that
Oh
version.
my
that was
God.
such a
That was on a mix CD I made. That was on my old iPod, like that. And also I love the soundtrack in the finale when she discovers her Carrie necklace at the museum. Remember, she goes there to support him, but then he's with his fans. And then it's like this like French rap song. I was obsessed.
Yeah.
And
that song
and the
really
way
good.
she
Favorite
finds it,
outfit, too.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
Yes, great outfit, the stripes, I think, right? Am I right?
No, it was
Oh.
the like aqua
Her, like-
dress that was like a corset.
Oh,
and
yes,
had
yes,
like
yes.
a kind of fuller skirt.
Yes. And that propels her to
running
then
through
run
Paris.
off. And then
Mhm.
Big is there and she's there. And it's like, and then the hotel. Yeah, I get tears in my eyes. It's such a fantastic way to wrap it up. I
Yeah.
feel like a
Perfect.
lot of thought was put into it.
Mhm.
I think also as she's finding the Carrie necklace, we have a surprisingly, like for me, pretty gripping storyline where Miranda's dealing with Steve's mom,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
scary and sad. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like all of their storylines, those last few episodes were really interesting, really good.
Agreed.
You know,
Yes.
yeah, it's just such a beautiful ending because then we have You've Got the Love and then it's the montage and the way the girls scream and react when Carrie comes back to the restaurant
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
I have
truly
chills.
beautiful.
It's
right?
I want to watch it now
I have
before bed.
chills.
Oh, I probably have watched the finale. Honestly, no joke. I feel like I've watched it at least 10 times. Like,
Yeah,
it's
me
just,
too.
it's a perfect like capsule too. You kind of
It's like
don't
a
need to.
two-parter too, right?
It's a two-parter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because first part is when she's in Paris and we start to realize like actually it's not as amazing as she thought. She can't really speak the language. She's the and then
You
that
really
second part.
I feel like you feel the coldness.
Yes.
The dampness.
Absolutely.
Great point.
And I do
Mhm.
like also feel her sadness when she's looking at the friend group in Paris
Yes.
Yeah.
and missing
Mhm.
her friends. Like
Yes.
it's heartbreaking.
I
Yes.
love too when Big shows up at the diner to meet
Yeah.
the girls. And
Yes.
it all
So-
comes down to Miranda, and Miranda just leans in and goes, "Go get our girl."
Yes.
I love it. I know. It's
I
so
know. Oh my
good.
God. I'm
Yeah.
so giddy right now.
Go get our girl.
Yeah, I think, obviously the four of them are so close, but there is something so special about Carrie and Miranda. Like, would you
Well,
agree that the two of them feel?
I'm really glad you're bringing this up because I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you guys who is
Carrie's
Car-
best friend.
Carrie's best friend.
Mm.
Okay, so I
Because
feel
I
like
don't know.
it seems like Miranda
Mhm.
for the longest time, but then Samantha is her maid of honor at her wedding.
Oh.
And
Oh.
to me, that is like,
I think because she's the only single one though.
Oh.
oh,
That's interesting. Okay.
So maybe that's
Okay.
why it's the maid.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just
Maybe.
but to me, it always seemed like it was Carrie and Miranda had the strongest connection.
And
Yeah,
maybe
but
that's
then
because their
her and
fights
Charlotte.
are so heavy. I don't know. I can't take Charlotte seriously, but that's just in the current seasons and movies. I know I loved her back in the day, but all I can see is this fucking phony, cheesy, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. From my perspective, Charlotte is the lowest, Samantha, and then Miranda. But
But Charlotte gives her the money for the down payment to the apartment.
oh,
Yeah, but only after a big fight between them.
But in Charlotte's, I kind of agree with Charlotte. Why should she have to give Carrie the money?
Oh, I am not saying that Carrie was right. I'm just saying she really had to be led to that land. Like she was not getting there because she's like, it's my best friend and I want to help her out. I don't think.
I mean, clearly, all of their best friend is Carrie. But if Carrie had to pick one, I guess she would probably pick Miranda.
What about
But
you,
I feel like
Sarah?
she has
Do
more
you
in common
agree?
with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about the magnetism between Carrie and Miranda. I just feel like when the two of them are like walking together or like arm in arm, I'm like, oh, what are you guys talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And I always thought that Charlotte and Samantha had a like connection.
I was gonna
as
say
friends as well.
I really enjoy when the two of them are sitting next to each other or walking together because like they're so polar opposites, but I love that they still love each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very. I feel like it's very big sister, little sister
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
the two of them.
Right.
But yeah, I think Miranda is probably who Carrie would say is her best friend.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Wow.
But I mean, she's a great friend because it's not that clear.
That's true.
Like, she definitely loves all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that brings me to one of my closing questions. So like let's talk about the Kim Cattrall of it all, because obviously equally famous is this feud, which, let me read this quote real quick to you guys. So I saw this somewhere online. I think it was Wikipedia. So who knows if it's real? So I'm just saying this just to, who knows? Celebrity Net Worth had reported that Sarah Jessica Parker earned around $50 million for the first 3 seasons of the HBO show. And then she became a producer and started making $3.2 million per episode for the last 3 seasons. Whoa. That is a shit ton of money, which angered her co-star Kim Cattrall. I felt, this is a quote, I felt after 6 years, it was time for all of us to participate in the financial windfall of Sex and the City. When they didn't seem keen on that, I thought it was time to move on, Cattrall said in 2004. So between the final season and the first movie. So here's my thought about this feud. Yes, it seems mostly targeted to Kim, seems mostly upset with Sarah Jessica Parker, maybe because she was the first out of the 4 of them to become a producer. Now the 3 remaining stars are all producers on this new show, right? Which is common in shows now. But I just feel like the feud seems to be targeted at Sarah Jessica, but I almost get the vibe that Kim is just mad at the whole show, which I understand, because it's like she's fully naked, she's the fan favorite, she is comedy queen, and she can't make even remotely equal pay. I totally get it. I guess what I'm saying is, what do you guys think about this feud? Like, do you relate to Kim? Do you think it's crazy? What do you think? What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah,
Mel,
I definitely.
You want to start?
Yeah, I see where Kim's coming from.
Yeah.
I think her lack of presence in the Just Like That series is felt. I mean,
oh yes,
she really is the funny part of the show. Yeah. But then again, what that podcast we talked about earlier, what's it called? The
Origins is the name, and then they had a Sex and the City season.
They talked about all of this, and I mean, Michael Patrick King did say this is Sex and the City is a success because of the name Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, she is the headliner. Like, it wouldn't be successful without her, period. We wouldn't have a show.
Which is valid.
Yeah, I see both sides of it. Yeah, I don't know.
It's heavy. What do you think, Sarah, about the whole thing?
I think I'm kind of in the camp of, I think Kim Cattrall is correct in what she has to say. I just don't know that, like, taking it to the press was ever going to get her what she wanted.
Right.
And that is where I think maybe it crossed a line into, like, well, did you want, like, is this really the right way to do this? I don't know. See, like, because, like, at the end of the day, this did put food on her. It's not like she was making nothing. This put food on her table for 6 years. I feel like, they had plans they very clearly had plans to continue to monetize it and allow people to make a career off of this. Kim did not have anything like immediately following or even really during while the show was airing. And so, like, you are sort of biting the hand that feeds you. Not that you're wrong, but maybe, like, going public with it was just not the right move.
Especially because some of these quotes she would say in the public were, like, jarring. They were, like, out of nowhere, pretty intense. So I totally hear you, Sarah. Yeah, that's an interesting point.
But I also do feel like she, I think, has a chip on her shoulder because the 3 other women are best friends in real life.
Right. Right, absolutely. You just sent me that cute photo of, who was it, Cynthia and Kristen together, right? Yeah. So they obviously hang out all the time. Yeah. Oh, it's tough.
So, like, I think she always felt like odd man out, basically.
I guess so. But a testament to all of their acting, because it never ever felt that way on camera or even in the, like, behind the scenes of it all, like in photos. So yeah, it's sad. Do you think so? Obviously, the news broke that Kim Cattrall will have a brief cameo on the phone, just alone. She's calling Carrie. It's funny how, like, it's actually, let's just talk about this for a second. It's actually crazy that, like, the show is spoiling itself because it's such major news because of the feud that like they have revealed the season finale of of the second season that's just started airing will end with a call between, like, it's almost feels like a Bravo show. Like, it's going to lead up to the cheating scandal, you know? Right. So, like, we're going to get a phone call. They are not in the room together. I don't even think Kim Cattrall was anywhere even near New York or whatever. I don't think Michael Patrick King was there. Like, apparently, what I heard was, and I forget if I told you guys this, I probably did via text, that, like, it was the HBO Max. Some head of whatever production contacted Kim directly. A rumor has it that, like, Michael Patrick King and, like, the writers weren't even really involved in the first discussions of this. It was Max talking to her about it, which is bold. So, you know, so we'll have this cameo, this phone call. Do you think there's a world where then Kim Cattrall will be on season 3 of And Just Like That, or no?
I don't know. What other purpose would this cameo, like, why would Kim do that?
Yeah.
What's the motive? She was so
maybe a big paycheck, and just to give the fans, you know, and who knows?
Like, she took such a stance on it, though, that I find
that now this is so weird. It's like, wait,
exactly.
You are doing it?
But she's like, I think it's a give a mouse a cookie, right? Like, I think she's learned that, okay, they will come to all of my terms. That's how much I mean to this show, and my participation means to this show. So maybe this was a first step, and, like, she'll say, like, okay, I'll do next season if I only film in LA by myself, or you know, whatever,
wherever, London or wherever she lives,
But I
what do you
think they're gonna get a third season?
At this rate, it's never ending.
I really don't know. Mel doesn't want any season.
I can't believe there's a second season.
I know.
Actually, truly insane that they made a second season of this.
See, here's the thing about why I'm okay with a second season.
Because you can't look away.
Well, I can't look away, but they got to course correct. They got to course correct this shit right away, or else it's gonna crash and burn. Like,
I have read that
it's gonna implode. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't say that word this week. But sorry, I just came to me. R.I.P.
Rip.
I did not mean any offense, but they got a course correct. So I'm trying to say I don't have high expectations, but you guys gotta figure it out and get it back in line to what it used to be, at least close to it, or else this is a bad way to go.
I don't think they're going to course correct. I think that based on all the interviews I've read, at least with the actors, they're like, we love it. Show.
Like,
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Meanwhile, all the fans are like, okay. I like that one scene.
But it doesn't feel the same.
They're like, everyone's like, I watch it to get drunk and text my friends angrily. So, you know. Well, ladies, I kept you way longer than I meant. Any final thoughts? Anything you didn't get to talk about tonight before I let you go? Your notes? Any other episodes or guest stars or boyfriends that you wanted to shout out before we go?
Do we miss any boyfriends? You know, it's only about big for me. At the end of the day,
it is fun to see all the guest stars. There
gosh.
are people that were famous in their own right in that time, but then there are people who like were kind of lesser known and have become big stars. I enjoyed that in my rewatch.
Oh yeah, that makes it extra fun. Like, Justin Theroux plays 2 different characters throughout the series, which is, I guess they thought, like, no one's gonna remember you. Like, I feel like that's such a 90s, like, Law and Order, like, come on back, it's been a couple years, it's fine, right? Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you brought up The Sopranos in the same time period, because we're doing Ryan and I are doing a Sopranos rewatch currently.
That is so perfect, Mel, because I no promises, but it's on my list for possibly talking about in January for its 25th anniversary. I've never seen it, so it could be fun. So think about that, guys. We'll see. Maybe there's a Sopranos. I can't confirm yet.
That's one I watched live.
Wow, Sarah.
You did. See, I didn't watch that one live. I watched it for the first time later in life. A couple years ago, honestly. Amazing. And now we're doing a rewatch, and it's even better.
Wow. Okay, well, take some notes, because there might be a chance that we talk. That might be, because then there's Felicity.
That would be a big undertaking for you.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe I would just watch season 1, and I don't know. I really don't know, but I feel like it's
you can't.
You got to do the whole thing. All right. Well, hey, maybe.
If you're gonna talk Sopranos, sorry, you have to talk finale.
Well, and you know what's funny? I watched the finale live because I'm like, all right, totally confused. And then the ending, I was like, So I watched it live for sure. All right, ladies. Well, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it here with something that I actually thought about while we were talking tonight. I forgot that a few years ago, in a past life, one of my side jobs was hosting trivia. And one night I hosted Sex and the City trivia. Now, these questions I did not come up with. They were written for me from the company I used to work for. Hopefully they don't mind. I'm going to randomly look. I didn't even look at this, but there were 5 rounds of questions. So I'm going to ask you guys one question from each round. Let's see who wins. Shout it or maybe raise your hand. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Okay. I am looking at this blind. So, how about, oh, that's too easy. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we were talking about him. First question. This is just general knowledge this round. Question 5 is, where does Carrie meet Berger? Okay, Sarah.
Her publisher's office.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, 1 point for Sarah. Okay, round 2. Round 2 is quotes. Let's see.
Ugh.
Okay. This is another question 5. Here's the quote. All right, ladies. Quote is your vagina in the New York City guidebooks? Because it should be. It's the hottest spot in town and it's always open. Who said it? Mel, raise your hand first.
Charlotte.
Genius. Good job. Okay, 1 and 1. Yep, Charlotte. Wow. Do you remember what that was?
She said that to Samantha. She was really like fed up with Samantha.
Samantha slept with her brother.
I remember that episode. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Such memorable episodes. Okay. Round 3, the theme is whose date was it? So it looks like I will name someone and then you have to name a lead character who dated them. Okay. So let's see. How about this one? The date was Willow, the movie star.
Oh.
Mel.
That was Big, wasn't it?
Good. Yes, that was sort of a trick question. Yes, a lead character, but not one of the women. Yes, he dated Willow, the movie star. I have no memory of Willow.
That's the one that he's like, she can reach me, but I can't
get to her.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
And it wasn't their song "New York State of Mind" or something.
Was it?
When he's like drunk, he's like, "This is our song. I'm in a New York state of mind."
Probably.
Okay, round 4 was character ID, so it's pictures, so that won't work for here. But I'll just do 2 from the last round, lightning round. Okay, these are again kind of general. I just rewatched this episode, so I'll start with this one. Okay, this is question number 4 of 5 tonight, everybody. We are almost done. Okay, what is the name of the popular restaurant whose hostess needed a tampon from Carrie? Sarah?
Le Cirque?
Very, very similar. Oh, there goes your iPad. Very similar, but no. Okay, close. Mel, do you have an idea?
Is it La Bernardine?
Nope. Okay, I don't think anyone gets this, but Sarah was close. You had the Z, Balzac, it was called. Balzac. So Lucerne, you know. Anyway, okay, sorry about that. Okay, one last question. Sure, why not? We were talking about Trey and his mom. What kind of flowers does Trey's mother grow? Sarah?
Orchids?
Yes! Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good job. Oh, there are bonus questions. Do you want me to ask them or are you officially sick of me? Okay.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Okay. Which episode's opening credits were the first? Oh, wow. This is bleak, but this is interesting trivia. Which episode's opening credits were the first not to include footage of the World Trade Center Twin Towers? Do you guys want to take a guess?
It's the I Love New York episode, isn't it?
It might be. It's the
episode where Miranda gives birth.
I'll look that up. This sheet tells me a number. So it's season blank, episode blank. Do you want to guess numbers?
It's the finale of season. She has short hair. 4?
Must be 4. Yeah.
Wow.
Miranda has.
Wow. So, okay. Mel, you are correct that the finale of season 4 is I Heart New York. So good memory, but that is actually episode 18. So this episode is season 4, episode 13. It was when the show, okay, so I guess the show started breaking up the seasons in season 4. So it was the premiere of season 4, the second half, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very close. Okay. You know what I mean?
So like the first half of season 4 was pre World Trade Center.
I guess
they went on a break.
Yeah.
9/11 happened. Then they came back.
So. Yeah. What other one? This is kind of bleak. A shot of what? I guess these are building things. A shot of what building replaced the shot of the World Trade Center in the opening credit sequence? Do you guys know? What replaced it?
I don't know. Empire. No.
You got it, Mel. Empire State. Okay, so I think we're tied 2-2. Okay.
Because that's what I always think of when I'm thinking of the. I didn't know if it was always there or not.
Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 sec.
Just do them all.
That's gonna be. You want to do them all? Okay. All right. First quote. I will not be the first one to speak, and if he never calls me again, I'll always think of him fondly as an asshole. Mel.
It's got to be Carrie.
Yep. I think she's talking about Big in season 1, actually. Next one. Quote is, "Oh, honey, gray area. True, you're in front of the firing squad, but you haven't been shot." What do you think?
I already know because "Oh, honey" is definitely
right. That's a giveaway. Sarah's got the dominoes back. Eat it, please. Eat it up. I know. Yeah, that's a giveaway. Right. Okay, next one is, quote, "I said no white, no ivory, nothing that says virgin." Sarah.
Miranda.
Yes. Miranda. Good. Oh, how funny, a quote that we've said a couple times tonight. "She can reach me, but I can't get her ever," is Big.
Big.
Okay, we had the Charlotte line. This one is, quote, "It's like 7th grade with bank accounts."
Is that Carrie?
No. Sarah, do you have a guess? It's like 7th grade with bank accounts.
Is that when Miranda has braces?
Maybe. It's Miranda. Miranda has braces? I don't remember that.
You know that episode, Sarah?
Yeah, I do.
Because I think she tries to like sit at someone's table. That's why I think it's that episode.
Of course Miranda had braces. Okay, next quote. "I think maybe there's a cheating curve, that someone's definition of what constitutes cheating is in direct proportion to how much they themselves want to cheat." Who do you think said that?
Probably Carrie.
Yeah, it's Carrie. It sounds very Carrie. It's you know. Okay,
convoluted.
this quote I think you guys are going to get. "I can get the sails up, I just can't bring it into the harbor."
Try.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Try. Yes, Sarah. Okay, I've lost count. I think you're both winners. Everyone's a winner. Okay, this next one. "Well, I've thought about it, and I've decided I'm sticking at 35.
Charlotte.
Oh, that's
Charlotte.
Oh.
Charlotte. Sarah got that one. Yes, I know it sounds like Carrie. It totally sounds like Carrie, but that's Charlotte. Okay, next, final 2 quotes, and then we are calling it a night. This quote is, "Apparently, $20 will buy you 3 drinks, a channel change, and a joint."
Carrie?
Carrie, what do you think, Mel?
Also Carrie, yeah.
Samantha. I wonder if that is the Smokin' a Doobie Post-it episode. I'm not sure.
She gets
channel
the weed, doesn't
she? Does get the weed, and is I can't remember what she means with a channel change. Something must be on the TV in the bar.
Oh, yeah, because they're at a bar.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you know why? Because Smith has some show or some interview or something, and they want to watch Smith's interview. Yes. Okay. All right. Last quote of the evening is a short and funny one. "I'm on Valium. Everything's okay." What do you think, Sarah? Miranda. Ding, ding, ding. Yes.
She gets
what? Oh, she gets what?
Laser eye surgery.
Yes. Gosh, you guys are good. You know your shit. Okay. Well, ladies, I kept you way longer than I meant to, but I thank you so much. Any final thoughts before we end this thing?
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Can't wait for next time. I think one quote that didn't come up, but I always love and think about from this show is Charlotte when she says, "What if the 3 of us are each other's soulmates and men are just these people that we have fun with?" And I think that's so nice. And
absolutely.
Very much the spirit of the show.
Very much.
So many quotes.
Right. Maybe we could be each other's soulmates.
The most important thing in life is your family. Sometimes it's the family you're born into. And sometimes it's the one you make for yourself.
So many good
the
lines.
dialogue is like cream of the crop. It's some of the
Yeah.
best ever, right? Like how lucky are we to hear this dialogue? Yeah, Sarah, it's funny. I just shared a video from the And Just Like That Instagram that had that quote. Yeah, and you're right. That basically encapsulates the whole show, right? So
Yeah.
thank you both so much. I thank you for your time. I thank your kids for letting you go. I thank your everyone. This was so much fun. I could talk to you about the white walls behind us and the different shades, and I'd have the time of my life. So thank you very much, Sarah Menekwal, Melissa Ward.
Yes.
We'll do another one. And I will continue watching And Just Like That to at least hate watch. Sarah,
And I
do you
will
think
ask
you'll...
you guys to fill me in.
Mel will never
Do it.
watch, but I think you'll have more fun with us describing it to you. Sarah, do you think you'll watch season 2 or?
I'll come to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk. To be
I
continued.
wonder if we're gonna get enough space from the Chris Snow thing that he will come back in flashbacks. That like things will settle down. Because actually, before I got on, I saw something on Instagram. There was some article about he actually reposted the article and said this is not true at all. The headline was something like how he's so upset none of the cast from Sex and the City will talk to him anymore after the scandal or whatever. He's like, that's not true, and that's not how I feel.
Oh God. Oh wait. So it's not true that they won't talk to him?
That's what he said.
Okay, so they do still talk to him. Okay. I mean,
well,
still
for a while
occasionally
they
chat
didn't
with him.
say anything about it,
Mhm.
and then people were upset, and then they put out a statement.
Yeah.
How did I miss? Well, I had a baby. I think that's
That's true.
I was
That's
like,
a good
how did I
excuse.
miss all of this?
Yeah.
I was just consuming the content
Yeah.
and barely at that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're like, things are moving on the screen and I'm just gonna sit here. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a
All
great
right,
question, Mel. We'll
could-
see. We'll see. I could see him
go on.
possibly
I have
coming
more
back.
to say, but
I know, yeah. We can't do it all. So people out there that are like, "Oh, you didn't talk about this." Well, then you start your podcast, okay? Actually don't, because I can't have one more.
the market is saturated.
Please,
Yeah.
please don't start your podcast. Or maybe
Don't.
let's just
We're trying
join
to break
forces,
through.
or you want to collaborate.
You want to
Please,
come
I
on?
can't. And with that, and just like that, we'll come to an end. Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Thank you.